Many of the things we experience on a daily basis, the roads we travel, the parks we visit, and more, are directly impacted by how the cities we live in portion their budgets. For that reason, we present the St. Paul Budget Explorer, an interactive tool that allows users to better understand St. Paul's city budgets. The Budget Explorer provides users with drill-down analysis capabilities, facilitating insights into general budget trends, comparisons between past budgets, and different budget components. We illustrate this with two example workflows. Our first workflow relies heavily on an overview first, zoom and filter, then details on demand philosophy. The tool allows users to view both proposed and ultimately approved budget data as divided into 7 main budget categories. A timeline widget allows users to scrub between years. As the user moves through the timeline, animation shows the change in value for each budget category, achieved by linearly interpolating between each year's respective budget amounts. Users can thus easily notice how the city's priorities shift over the years. For example, animation makes it clear that the budget allocated for debt management decreased dramatically from 2019 to 2020. Details are available on demand as tooltips. For example, the exact amount of the most recent budget that was approved for libraries, culture, and recreation is shown when hovering over the appropriate bar. To filter the data, users may also choose to only view approved or only view proposed budget data. This offers insight into where the mayor and city council might differ in opinion. We also allow users to directly select and compare any 2 years. For example, after using the animation to see that debt management decreases sharply from 2019 to 2020, users can directly compare the 2 years, further filtering the data. Enhanced tooltips in this comparison view show both the dollar amount allocated for each category and the biggest single contributor to each category, meaning the user is able to understand how, and to a certain extent why, different years may have different budget allocations. Our next workflow provides a more holistic view in that it gives a better sense of how different budget categories come together to form the entire budget. Our second initial view shows either the total proposed or total approved budget data per year. Note that these are shown as very pale, almost ghostly bars. This is because they serve primarily as reminders of how large the total budget is for each year, rather than acting as the main data of interest. From this view, users can select any number of different budget categories, which will dynamically add them to the chart. The legend populates according to the number of categories selected. Tooltips also dynamically adjust based on the categories selected. This workflow gives users a more immediate view of how different budget categories shrink and expand over extended time periods. For example, users can gather that the libraries, culture, and recreation category receives an extremely consistent amount of funding for every budget. One potential area of interest in future work is grounding budget data geographically, allowing users to see where in the city money is being invested. Here we use Wizard of Oz techniques to show how our user might be able to see what locations in St. Paul the library's culture and recreation budget is going towards. The user can easily determine how much money goes towards Como Zoo, for example. While this might be difficult for certain budget components that deal with the city as a whole, it would be feasible for components such as infrastructure projects, park improvements, and the like. In conclusion, we offer the St. Paul Budget Explorer, which provides a variety of comparison, overview, and synthesis workflows in exploring the St. Paul budget. Through drill-down workflows that emphasize accuracy and interactivity, we aim to promote better understanding of an integral part of St. Paul life.